practical application, and the why. So a lot of you, that's something that really resonated with you. Respect and humor, understanding, compassion, creativity, a lot of the things that you were talking about, that what good teachers need to do. So there's a connection there between what the adult student needs and what we as teachers need to be doing. Well, ironically, I don't know that my students, when they do this exercise as far as public school teachers, if they talk about about respect. I think that's one of the things that they put on their charts is respect, and yet we're saying that's what the adult learner needs. Interesting, huh? Is there really a difference? To know why. A lot of you said to know why. So that's good. Thank you. Anybody want to say anything else about that presentation from yesterday? Any thoughts that have come up for you? Any ahas? Anything you thought of overnight that you wish you learned more about? Or that was really, you're glad you did learn?
Yeah, we're all awake up.
Everybody waking up?
I got a comment.
Yes, Kip.
Alright, so I thought it was good that you guys incorporate some of the techniques that you're trying to show us, like when you're giving your presentations, because it's like there's so many things that are thrown out there that it's like, well, what does right look like? Like if I was to sit down and just be a fly on the wall and watch an instructor start for a class period, like what does that look like, you know? And so it's good that you guys are doing that with your presentation.
And Kip, one of the things the Best Practices Committee hosts every year, we're trying to get it going every semester, and that is what we call showcase visits. It's called GIFTS. GIFTS. Oh gosh, I can't remember what it stands for now. Anyway, it's, we professors here at CSI, during a designated week, open our classrooms to any other professors that want to come drop in and see how other people do it. It is so powerful to walk by. You could just be walking by a room and you're hearing something going on, you just pop in and just sit for a little bit or sit for the whole lesson. So be watching for that opportunity as well. Thank you for that feedback. Scott?
I was just thinking, how am I going to apply this to the three ways I teach? I teach online,
Right.
I teach hybrid, and I teach face-to-face.
Yes.
I already have 9 preps for 12 classes,
Right.
and now I'm going to try and do it different. So I'm thinking, where am I going to pick and choose to
Right. So what have you thought
try
of?
and incorporate something different?
So what have you thought of? What's an initial thought?
That opening question or opening statement, we've already flipped one class, we're flipping another one this semester. And
A
so
hybrid
we-
or on campus?
On campus, face to face, the health and wellness, the general graduation. And so it's a total electronic adaptive learning experience, which is gonna be completely radical change from the way we're taught. But thinking, how can I incorporate this into that, so.
And what did you say you liked?
The opening question
Or opening question?
yeah,
Great.
doing that background knowledge probe that is already built into the adaptive technology for the class.
Right.
And so I can pull up reports right before lecture and know exactly what learning concepts weren't hit and missed, so I can adapt the lecture that way, but then having something else like a video or a current topic or an article. And I used current videos for my sports safety class, which were the injuries of the week from all the professional athletes, which there are, I'll link to anyways, but it did never lead to discussion. It was, right here was the latest multi-millionaire to lose his career due to injury, but it did never stimulate any conversation or discussion, so you know, how to incorporate that.
Yeah,
Hopefully you'll see a little bit of that today too, because the opening moment that we have will lead into discussion of everything.
Yes, Tracy's going to use that for that. There, one of the best practices presentations was done by, and they're going to do this next week, twice. Bill Eber and Jason Lloyd are going to talk about how they do this exact thing that you're talking about. So if you get a chance to go to theirs, I don't know what it's called.
And I actually went to their class a couple times last year, watched
good.
them.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
It is, and they also have they have a Blackboard presence for their own campus class, where you have to do a mini reflection on the reading before, it's your entrance ticket to come to class. And then, or they do an iClicker quiz too, that goes into points based on the reading before class even starts, so. Said something. Oh, when I do the essential question, what makes a great teacher for my 202, or any of my classes, I have essential questions. And you can have sub-questions as well that you just talk about for a day or for a few weeks. You can call it the big question. But the essential question that we answer all semester long, I have it printed and laminated on a piece of paper. And then in the rooms where I teach, I have some of those clippies, those little clear ones, and then I can put my sign up and take it down, you know, because it's not my classroom, you know, since I come and go. So right before class, in fact, I even have students trained, and they'll put them up. But we have anchor charts that we put up, and they take down, you know, I have those clips too. So here at the campus, since it's not like a traditional classroom, you know, where your stuff's all up and all cute and everything, you be creative with the little clippies. All right, so what we're going to do today, Tracy and I revamped our schedule a little bit, looked at some things, so the articles will switch in order a bit, but you'll see as it goes. What we want to do is we have 3 more articles that we want to talk about and do some strategies with you. And I just thought of last night another strategy that we didn't talk about. I mean, that we did, and it'll come to me and I'll write it up on the board when I remember it. So we have some more strategies that we'll go over with you with the articles. And then we have some breaks planned, and we'll start our mini lessons hopefully around 10. Maybe not, we'll see how we get going.
Well,
And we won't do the full 8 minutes for feedback. We'll try to keep it to 5 so that we can make sure that everybody gets their mini lessons done. And if whatever needs to be done after lunch, there will be some probably that we'll do after lunch. And then we'll have our Socratic seminar. And that, we can do a good Socratic seminar in 45 minutes. We don't need the full hour and a half for that, like I usually use with my students. It'll give you an idea. And then be done by 2:30 or 3, depending. And someone has to leave 2:30. So we'll work with it. All right, any questions about our day today? There's still some leftover hot water. We have another snack of drinks coming at 10. And then afternoon, we'll have some cheesy crackers, well, hopefully. That's what she was aiming for. Good, all right. And you guys remember, just get up and stand, either where you are, back of the room, even if there's not a break. Stretch and move and do what you like. It's not distracting, so.
I wanted to just comment on what you said also, Scott. I cannot stress enough how nice it is once it also helps you learn your students' names to greet them at the door if you can. Usually what happens is that there's another class in the classroom before me, so I come in and then I just kind of shut the door. I teach my students to do that. They kind of line up outside and then I start greeting them. The reason I do that also is because of the respect issue. When we develop a relationship between the two of us, I don't have issues with them texting in class. Because we have a relationship. It's almost like if they don't know you, then they'll do some things that they may not do if they do know you, know? So I think that it develops that relationship. So there's one you can do very easily, and it just changes. And sometimes, you know what? At the beginning of the semester, I laughed because I would start to greet them, and they would kind of be, I could tell I was kind of in their space. And I would shake their hand, and they'd kind of, not sure what to say. I could tell they were nervous. By the end of the semester, when I would go to shake their hand, they would hold my hand the whole entire time that they were shaking, that they were telling me whatever. They would just continue to hold my hand. And what was interesting is Scott and I have a relationship. We know each other pretty well. So when I was greeting him, he just held my hand the whole time we talked. And what you notice is that the more comfortable that they become with you, the more of a relationship that you build with them, the more that they do that. And you'll see it, it's amazing. But I never have issues with behavior and things like that because of the fact that they know me. They feel like we have a relationship, okay? And I feel like that, so I deal with them differently than somebody I wouldn't have a relationship, or I don't have a relationship with. Okay, this is our opening moment today.
Today we're talking about William Shakespeare. I know. about Shakespeare, someone who writes something very interesting. Now, many of you have seen Shakespeare done very much like this. Go, Titus, bring your friend hither. If any of you have seen Mr. Marlon Brando, no, but Shakespeare can be different. France, Romans, countrymen, Ramirez. You can also imagine maybe John Wayne's big best going, "Well, is this the dagger I see before me?" Why do I stand up here? Anybody?
Feel taller.
No. Thank you for playing, Mr. Dalton. I stand upon my desk to remind myself that we must constantly look at things in a different way. See, the world looks very different from up here. You don't believe me? Come see for yourselves. Come on. Come on. Just when you think you know something, you have to look at it in another way. Even though it may seem silly or wrong, you must try. Now, when you read, don't just consider what the author thinks. Consider what you think. Boys, you must strive to find your own voice. Because the longer you wait to begin, the less likely you are to find it at all. Thoreau said most men lead lives of quiet desperation. Don't be resigned to that. Break out. Don't just walk off the edge like lemmings. Look around you. There you go, Mr. Christie. Thank you. Yes. Dare to strike out and find new ground.
All right. That's actually one of my favorite movies because I just like, but one of the things that I wanted to talk to you about today, we're going to read an article about it as well, is, or actually the two most important probably skills for teachers. So you think, oh, out of all of these things, you're gonna pick two? Yeah. In fact, there's an article in there and it's called The Two Most Important Skills, I think, for Teachers. And I'd like you to take some time to read that. However, I want you to read it with a couple of things in mind. I want you, this is called a think aloud strategy. And so for something you like in the article, I want you to put a smiley face next to it. For something you think, that is a great idea, I would like to try that, I want you to put an exclamation point. A question about something, question mark. And then I'd like you also keep a note or write a note next to it if you've actually seen this application, if you've seen this applied in some situation. So go ahead, I'm going to give you about 5 minutes to read that.